I gotta say, this Dodash lady really disappointed me. And I'll tell you why. Honestly, her and Stephen Rachel were the reasons why I went harder on YouTube. I've been on YouTube for probably 7, maybe 8 years. And I was really thinking about giving up. I really was. I was thinking about giving up. Nobody's listening. And then I saw Dodash probably at the peak of her YouTube career. Probably at the very top is when I discovered her. And she was doing really good. She was getting a lot of views. And the messages she was sending seemed positive. But I should have knew something was wrong when she started putting out the message, just quit your job to do YouTube. Because that is never a good idea. That is never a good idea. Now, I will say, if you have a plan and you start a business and you're making more than what your job is paying you, I don't see anything wrong with quitting your job after the revenue's coming in and you see it's time, or your job's starting to get in the way of your revenue. Then I would say it's probably time to give it up. But her message was literally quit your job and start a YouTube channel. YouTube is hard. It seemed easy. Even when I was putting out videos talking about easy mode, I wasn't really talking about easy mode. What I was saying is we're in a new era where subscribers don't count. You don't have to do a fancy thumbnail anymore to get views. That's what I was talking about when I was talking about easy mode. I know a lot of other people were saying easy mode in the sense of anybody can get on and get hundreds and thousands of views. I didn't mean that, personally. And I don't think Stephen Rachel meant that either. We just simply mean that you could come on YouTube and find an audience no matter how small you are as a content creator. That's what I meant by it. But Dodash put that message out, quit YouTube. Quit your job, start YouTube. First of all, that was a bad message because YouTube will fluctuate. You can look at my channels, for example. At the peak of my YouTube career, I was getting a lot of views, but the views have gone down. I would say around the pandemic time, I was getting a lot of views, lots of views. But she motivated me to keep going. But her message now is just her and this Dontay London dude. This, I don't even know what you call it. This struggle content where you beg for money. The whole time I've been on YouTube, I never made it a secret I'm trying to make money. I never made that a secret. My whole time on YouTube, I do affiliate marketing offers. I never hid that fact. But I've never begged. I never said, oh, my rent is short. I need you guys to send me some money. And there's been times my rent has been short. There's been times I have struggled. But I'll never get on YouTube and beg. In this new era where the struggle content is popular, I don't approve of it. Therefore, I no longer approve of Dodash, Dontay London, whoever else is on the struggle content. And I don't want people to think I'm putting out this video because everybody else is putting out a video about them. I'm just simply saying that I don't approve of it. I don't think it's cool. Does it work? It may work for a small, naive group of people that want to send them money. It might work, for a small group of people that want to help them out, pay their rent, they feel bad for them. I just don't approve of it. Now, what I do approve of is there's nothing wrong with trying to make money. And I don't like the YouTubers that will make you feel guilty for trying to make some money. I don't think there's nothing wrong with trying to make money. I just don't think you need to beg for it or make up lies or stories about your bills to get it. I think if you're honest with your subscribers and just be like, yo, I got some affiliate offers underneath the video, check them out. Like right now I have free training thanks to Steve and Rachel. Free AI training. I don't make that a secret. Links below. But I'm just so disappointed with Dontay in particular, because she's always putting out this stuff about God, and I'm sorry, I just keep flipping that up because the sun was getting bright. Putting out these false messages about she's so into God, and I'm starting to see this is a pattern now. People are showing me that they go back in her past and this is the thing she does, and it's like, oh man, it's so disappointing, because I really, really believed in her positive messages. And I really was like getting excited almost that somebody out there like her is putting out positive messages for the average person to get started on YouTube. But don't quit your job for YouTube. Now, what I will say is YouTube, the good thing about YouTube is it's a good, almost like mental treatment, at least for me, where you could just vent, let people know what's on your mind. Like I think I do extremely good with my rideshare content, because I have a love-hate relationship with particularly Uber, not so much Lyft, but particularly Uber. I hate how the company pays, but I went back to rideshare because I enjoyed the interactions with people. The daily pay was convenient, and I have a flexible schedule, so I could do other things. But I would never tell anybody to quit your job for YouTube. I even made a mistake quitting my job prematurely to start my own business. It was a mistake. I was at Bed Bath & Beyond before they shut down their retail locations for like 10 years. But I left prematurely. I should have waited till they shut down. I think they shut down like 3 or 4 years after I left. I should have waited. I left way too soon. And I thought things were good because I chilled during the pandemic. I literally chilled. And part of the reasons why I went back to doing Uber and Lyft, at the time I was doing full-time. And part of the reason was not just to make money. Part of the reasons was I knew I would get some good content out of doing it. I knew they were going to piss me off, and I was going to have some reality things to talk about. That was part of it. I did need more money because the online money was great during the pandemic. And I was getting grants. I really skated through the pandemic. And what I should have been doing is grinding. I should have been grinding hard while the money was good. I was too relaxed. That was the biggest mistake I made. See, Dontay needs to admit what she's done wrong. She was putting out a message, she'll never sell you nothing, and then later on sell you something. I think if she just kept it real, yeah, I'm going to sell you some stuff because I need to make money. I don't make it a secret that, yes, on my channels, at some point, I'm going to try to sell you a AI tool, affiliate marketing product, one of my own digital products. I'm not going to hide that. At some point, I am going to try to sell you. I'm not hiding that fact. But it really pissed me off that she had this old great message that it was going to be a motivational channel. She's never going to sell you anything. She could have lived on just her AdSense money if she just kept that going, I think. But this new struggle content and begging for money, it might make her a few dollars. I think it's making her quite a few dollars, but in the wrong way. And she has a lot of subscribers, but she's also losing a lot of subscribers. And I'm really not trying to put this out just for the purposes that everybody else is putting out a video about them. I'm just giving my opinion and how disappointed I am, because she really drove me in the beginning. Well, in the beginning that I saw her at her peak, probably, with the positivity. I'll never be that positive. I don't pretend to be. I'll never try to lie and say I'm that positive. What I will say is, I'm going to try to keep it real, at least. I'm definitely going to try to keep it real on my channel. The good, the bad, the ugly. I left my job way too early, like I was saying. That was a mistake. The pandemic, I chilled when I should have been going hard, because during the pandemic, Uber drivers, because there was stimulus money out there, everybody was doing good. Some people were scamming, but some people were just spending their extra money. And I should have been doing rideshare then. I should have got on board, started going back to rideshare then, because I had quit during the pandemic. I was a rideshare driver before the pandemic. After probably right around 2017, 2018 is when I started rideshare. Then I stopped around 2020 at some point. I should have kept going hard. I should have been going hard and starting my online business, but going hard also doing rideshare. I came back to rideshare because I knew it was good for content, but I had to pull back on the rideshare a little bit because I was just going through too many cars too fast. And now I'm down to what I call part-time. And it's funny how, let's talk about that for a minute, part-time. People call 5 to 6 hours, 5 days a week. They're trying to say that that's not part-time. For a rideshare driver, that is part-time. The average rideshare driver, that is full-time. They will drive minimum 8 to 10 hours every day. That, to me, is a full-time driver. So when I say part-time, I just mean I cut back. So I call it part-time because I do only 3 hours in the morning and then 3 hours in the late afternoon. So I have time in between to come home, eat a good long lunch. Good long lunch, watch some TV, do my online stuff. And besides online, I am renting rooms to pay for my rent. I don't make that a secret. I literally rent 2 rooms in my apartment. I'm not the landlord. I'm not trying to act like I am a landlord. I call my roommates, but I'm renting 2 bedrooms. That covers the rent. My online stuff, Uber and Lyft, that pays bills and helps maintain the car. So I'm not acting like I'm this big marketer out here. I'm still struggling. But I'm doing a lot better than a lot of these full-time drivers that are out here driving 10, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And literally, I'm only driving about 5 Monday through Wednesday, and then I might do 6 hours like Friday. I would say like Thursday and Friday. Saturday and Sundays, I'll very rarely ever go driving anymore. And I try to have Sundays, I try to put aside for time with my family. Every other Sunday, at bare minimum, I'll try to go spend time with my daughter, granddaughters. So that's what I do. Saturdays, I may do 1 or 2 rides for shits and giggles, but the weekends have just become so slow that I don't even really bother. But that's what I mean by part-time. And these people it wasn't a lot of people. I would say like 1 or 2 people will get on and be like, oh yeah, you drive part-time. Like being sarcastic almost in their comment, because I said I drive 5 to 6 hours, 5 days a week. That really, to me, is part-time. I don't even think you can find a full-time job right now that you're only doing 5 to 6 hours, 5 days a week. I think the average part-time job is almost like at least 32, 36 hours. You know? I don't think that's, to me, if you have a full-time job and they're maybe you're doing like 38 hours maybe. But to me, a full-time Uber and Lyft driver, that's 8 to 10 hours. Sometimes 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. They don't even take a day off. And that used to be me when I only had Uber and Lyft. When I started, I only had Uber and Lyft. My online was just beginning. I was just trying to structure things, trying to set things up. That's what I mean. I left my job too early. Would I go back to a job? No, I'm not going to lie. I would not. Even though it's positive to me to have a job, I don't think it's a bad thing to have a job. It's just not something I would go back to at this point because I'm too creative. I think if you get to the point where you could come up with side hustles, you could use AI. I'm very creative in the fact that I can rent rooms, and I collect my money weekly, where a lot of people collect monthly. You know, I think I'm a very creative person, and I don't think I need to go back to working a job. Would I? In extreme emergency, yes. I'm not gonna lie. It would have to be a really, really extreme emergency, like my car was impounded, or maybe if my car was impounded and I had no choice, I probably would get at least bare minimum part-time job, because I still would have the renting rooms, I still have the online stuff. So bare minimum, yes, I would get maybe a part-time job, but I'm not at that point. You know, but I don't want to send a negative message that having a job is bad. Some people like their job. If you like your job, continue doing your job. If you like Uber and Lyft, as much stuff, if you go to my Nice Guy Driver channel, expect me to talk junk about Uber and Lyft, because the reality is the pay sucks. The reality is they treat your drivers poorly. But a part of us enjoys it. If a part of you didn't enjoy being an Uber and Lyft driver, you would not do it, period. Part of me enjoys it. I don't try to hide that fact. But at some point, I'm going to transition out, because I am trying to go private as we speak. I'm trying to get into, I literally quit smoking weed so I can get licensed to start doing the medical end of things. You know, I literally used to smoke every day, every single day of my life. And I noticed it was causing health problems because smoking of marijuana every day was causing me to eat out everywhere constantly. I no longer eat fast food. I'm drinking more water because I am getting older. I'm in my 50s now, and I'm a grandfather. I'm trying to live longer for their sake, just as well as my own. But the DoorDash thing disappointed me because that was one of my go-to positive messages. Stephen Rachel, very positive guy. He no longer drives for Uber and Lyft. He doesn't have to. He tried it out, but his online hustle, I guess, got back to where it was. He started selling AI training. He has some free training, but he also has a whole course that he also offers. And him and his wife, they create their own platforms, so he's no longer driving. So I gotta give props to him, because even though I don't hate people for liking to do Uber and Lyft, I don't think it's sustainable. It's not sustainable, and we're running out of time where there is no more Uber and Lyft drivers. I know you heard on the news, Waymos are coming out more places. Tesla's pushing out their first robo-taxis. Now, that doesn't mean that we're done tomorrow. Doesn't mean we're done next year. But 2030, we're getting closer to being done. Think about that. We're only like 5 years away, and I think 2030 is it. You know, if you ask Elon, he's going to say 2027 or 2026. He'll say next year. He'll say next year, rideshare's done. I don't believe that. I think that's way off on his prediction. But 2030, just for the first time, I think I'm right on with the 2030. In the past, before AI, I think I was saying like 10 years. We got like 10, 15 years. You see how AI sped up everything. You know, that's AI technology built in the Waymos, the Tesla. AI is everywhere. That's why I think you need to learn it. That's why I think you need to check out Stephen Rachel's free training. Links below, or go to blanddrake.com. It is going to help to have experience in AI, and I have some now experience in AI. So, how are you going to make it in this new economy? Stop listening to Dontay London. Stop. It's disappointing, but stop listening to DoorDash. All she is going to beg for money. Continue to listen to Stephen Rachel. He's good. He's positive. Glendon's gone. You know, some people will say he's not positive anyway because of the whole R. Kelly video he did. You can listen to me, but I'm not going to even put myself on a pedestal and say that I'm on any of these people's level. But what I will say is I'm going to keep it real. I am going to try to sell you something at some point. I am going to keep grinding. I am creative. I'm versatile. I'm a hustler. So I'm going to stay in the game. Some people stop watching my videos altogether. There's people that were watching me in the beginning, like 4 years ago, that no longer watch me. And that's okay. I don't feel mad. I don't feel disappointed, because that's going to happen. But what I will say is I have longevity. And that's what I'm disappointed about Glendon, because I thought he would kick around forever. But I have longevity. I've been on YouTube for like 8 years. Yes, my views go up and down, but I'm still here. A lot of you can't put up a channel and last as long as I have. I watched one girl, she had a rideshare channel. It was better than my rideshare channel, but she just gave up. I forget the name of it, but she came on the scene and she was doing faceless content, but she wasn't using AI yet. So if she started using AI, she's probably still be around. There's a lot of AI tools out there that can help you now. And another thing, I might keep it real. You might not see my face in the future, but you'll still see the channel. You might not no longer see my actual face. It might be an AI version of me, or it might not even be my face at all. It might just be like landscapes and footage, and you just hear my voice in the background. But I'll still have content. Because content is the future. AI is the future. Social media is going to be around forever. AI is only growing faster, at a faster rate. So you better start using it, because that's another skill you could use. If I had AI back in the AI we have now, if I had this back in 2018, I don't even think you'd be seeing my face. I think my channels would have been fully faceless, because by now I would have been already converted over to learning the more advanced AI, where I'm just in the beginning stages. I'm just in the beginning stages of AI. I'm not going to front, but in 3 years, I think I will be considered a consultant, an AI consultant, to the point where I could go in and sell either my own AI products and service or someone else's to a company, a big company, because I'm adapting. The only way you're going to make it in this economy, this new economy, with this new administration especially, is you got to keep building your skills. You know, I'm 54 years old, and a lot of people, not just because I look maybe younger, but a lot of people are surprised at what I know, because I keep adapting, where a lot of people my age don't even know what I'm talking about. And I never was smart in school. I never was, quote unquote, a nerd. I wasn't a jock, I wasn't a thug, but I wasn't a nerd neither. I was an outcast. I was something different. I'd always thought different. I didn't have a lot of friends. I'm even different than my 2 brothers, who are more into sports than I am. But I can't even say I'm on the nerd side, because I never could hang out with the nerds, because I was, in my opinion, dumb. You know, I don't think I had necessarily a learning disorder, but I was really slow in high school, in middle school and high school. I got picked on because I was super quiet, super shy. That's why I was bad in retail, because I was just too shy, you know. But I found my calling. I think I know who I am now. And I think YouTube helped bring that out of me. Believe it or not, Uber and Lyft helped bring that out of me. So I got to thank Uber and Lyft for part of it, because I was so shy that it wasn't until I became an Uber and Lyft driver I started really talking to people, starting to really interact with people. That's why I'm glad I didn't go to food delivery. Because if I went to food delivery, I still would be closed in, because I wouldn't deal with people. You deal with people in the restaurant picking it up, but you really don't get to talk to them. Being an Uber and Lyft driver brought out something in me that was useful. So if nothing else, I could thank Uber and Lyft for that. It made me I'm still an introvert, but I'm just a little bit more outgoing, That helped me like learn how to interact with people a little bit better, even in the real world. It helped me discover YouTube because I had something to talk about other than just starting a business. My new passions: everybody should start their own business. Everybody should start a YouTube channel. Don't quit your job, but you should still have a YouTube channel. I believe everybody should have their own LLC or corporation. I believe everybody should have skills, AI, social skills. And if you're a really talkative, open person, friendly person, all this is going to be easy for you. The introverts are the ones that struggle. The introverts are the ones, I don't want to show my face. I used to think I was the ugliest person on the planet. I really did. Now, I really don't care what you think about my looks, because if you're paying attention to my looks, you're missing the message. It's going right over your head. So those people that be like, oh, you wearing the same thing all the time, it went right over your head. The real message. The whole message went right over your head. Somebody commented, oh, you will keep wearing the same thing. How are we going to take you serious? The whole message of the video went right over your head. And you're probably somebody that's never going to get anywhere in this economy. I stopped complaining about this administration. Every president is not going to be what you want them to be. Even Obama, who was pretty popular, there's always somebody that's going to hate the president. There's always somebody that's going to hate the administration. The only thing you could do is use the resources you have in this country to get ahead. Every administration wants business success. Even this one. Trump even wants business success. Particularly this administration. Wants you to be corporate. They want you to become a corporate citizen. They want you to start a business. They cater even more to business, I think, this administration. They might not be giving out the stimulus money, but there's loopholes with being a business owner. There's a lot of loopholes. Even if you just got a YouTube channel, you get the right things off. Thank God the last administration allowed Uber and Lyft drivers, particularly, to be considered actual businesses as far as the PPP and the EIDL grants. I got a lot of grant money. I got a lot of stimulus money. I got the PPP. I didn't have to scam, just being an Uber driver. And Uber drivers, in your own name, is considered just an independent contractor, sole prop, which is technically, in the business world, not really a business. What I would do different is I would have went back to when I started Uber and put it in the LLC. I think that was my only mistake, because I probably would have got even more had I just been an actual LLC. But I was lucky enough to skate with the sole prop. This is the message I'm trying to put out. Start your own business. That's going to help you in any administration. Before Trump, after Trump, start your own business. That's going to help you. Don't quit your job until your job gets in the way. Don't listen to DoorDash, Dontay London, who both said, quit your job, start a YouTube channel. Now they're in struggle mode and they need to go get a job. Dontay London, especially from what I see, he needs to go get a job and stop begging. DoorDash, I guess she does DoorDash still, but apparently it's not enough. Go get a job. Go get a job. Me and my granddaughter be screaming it, get a job. Because people out here just they're not doing what I'm doing, and they don't have a job. They're like in their 20s sitting around and don't go get a job. If you're not going to get a job, at the very least, you have to become a hustler. Meaning you have to have 3 to 4 side hustles that make as much money as an actual business. That's what I'm doing. At the same time, I'm creating businesses. I'm creating the future for myself. You know, I'm starting a whole new holding company because the holding company I had, I went to some quote-unquote people that I thought knew what they were doing, and they did my holding company incorrectly, but I didn't have the knowledge. There was this guy, E.D. Cole, I went to, and he did my holding company completely wrong. Then I went to another guy, RIP, he's no longer with us, Troy Mason and his company. They were supposed to put me together a corporation, add the business credit. All this knowledge is out there for free. How to start a corporation yourself, how to build it up. I wouldn't even suggest paying anybody on YouTube thousands of dollars to help you set this stuff up. Maybe a few $100s, but not thousands. If you got $4 to $5 grand, you can go to a law firm, or you can go to one of these filing companies like InkFile and all these online filing companies. Set up your own LLC or corporation, and then you could take advice from, you know, some of these law firms or people like myself on YouTube as far as the hustle part of it to get money to put in your business. But I would not be sending anybody thousands of dollars to do anything like that. And that was my mistake. I didn't know. I was learning, you know. And I'm trying to do this video to save you from the same mistakes, you know. Because we are, during this journey, even though I'm telling you this stuff, a lot of people aren't going to watch my videos. The ones that do watch, they're not going to listen. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all human. We're not perfect. But listening to people like Dodash and this Dontay London, I'm telling you, is a mistake. Anybody just struggling and begging for money, don't send it to them. Take that money, invest in yourself. Invest in the AI tool even, and make your life better. That's the message I have for you guys. I wish you guys the best. I truly do. I wish you guys the best. I no longer want to start a business for selfish reasons. In the past, I wanted to start a business for one reason only: get money. That was my mentality. I had like almost a drug dealer mentality. Get money by any means necessary. Step on anybody you need to step on to get it. I don't even feel that way anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy how old age, you really learn. My grandfather used to tell me, you know, the older you get, if you live long enough, you will learn. And I don't even feel bad about younger people calling me old anymore, because it's a privilege to get old. A lot of people are dying young. A lot of people are dying before my age, 40s, 50s. And I noticed a lot of YouTubers in their 40s, 50s, and 60s just coming on YouTube, they're doing pretty good. You know why? They have stories. If you live long enough, you will have so many stories. Guys, I got so many stories I could tell you that I didn't even get to all my stories yet. And I've been on YouTube going on 8 years. I didn't even get to half of my stories. My daughter and my stepdaughter say all the time, oh, you keep saying the same stories. No, I don't. No, I don't. They might hear one or two stories again, but I got so many stories that I didn't tell yet. It's unbelievable. I don't tell them some stories, but I got so many stories, to tell. And I think that's why the Gen X people in particular are doing well. They'll come on YouTube brand new, get a lot of views. Their channels might fluctuate like mine, up and down, but we have so many stories. It's a privilege to get older. It's a privilege, but you never stop learning. My 40s, I made a lot of mistakes that I'm just now getting out of now in my 50s. So I'm still learning. I still make mistakes. I still spend money unnecessarily at times. I'm not going to front and act like I don't. But telling people to quit your job to do YouTube is wrong. Now, while you're working, everybody should start a channel. While you're working, everybody should bare minimum have a LLC or corporation set it up. Just set up. Just set up and pay the fees even. Because I guarantee you there's grant money out there. That's another thing. I got a grant source. Doesn't cost you anything to look. Grant source, free AI training. See, not everything costs. I got some stuff I offer on my own platform. Some positive messaging I put on my own web space. I'm probably going to do my own platform at some point where I house all my good content in case something goes wrong with YouTube. I got it all housed in one place. Because that's property. That's intellectual property that I want to brand, and that's part of my future assets. But that's all I got for you guys today. It's going to be a cloudy day. I am going to drive probably for like 3 hours this morning and 3 this afternoon. I don't consider that full-time driving, but, I'm going to let you guys call it how you want to call it. I think that's everything. I think I am going to use this video to help train my GPT that I'm going to build out. I'm going to build my own GPT, and I'll let you guys know, of course, when it's available. I'm going to share it out for free. It's going to be no charge. But I'm not making it a secret. At some point, I am going to try to sell you something. But I'm not going to do it in a way that's salesy. I'm simply going to say I have this to offer. Links below. Check it out. No pressure to buy. And I do always have something free to give you. So check out the links below. Thank you guys for your time. Listen to me rant. If you made it this long, thank you. Subscribe, like, comment, click that bell icon, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Thank you.